A man searched for decades to find the newborn girl he rescued from likely death. This morning, the mystery is finally solved. After nearly 60 years, the two reunited Sunday. Michelle Miller is here with the emotional meeting you'll see only on CBS This Morning. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Well, Dave Hickman says it's by the grace of God that he heard a noise in the woods while he was hunting in southern Indiana at the age of 14. What he found there would change his life forever.
September 22nd, 1955, I'd been hunting with my grandfather, and I kept hearing a very odd sound. It wasn't the sound of a baby crying, it was more of a soft cooing sound. I said, I have to find out what this is. So I started walking up the fence. I got on top of the fence. I looked down, and there was a little baby. She was soaking wet. Her lips were blue. She was just wrapped in a towel. My grandfather said, we have to do something real quick. We have to get help for the baby.
Dave Hickman and his grandfather called the authorities, who brought the newborn to a hospital where she was treated and given a name, Roseanne Wayne. A few months later, Dave was given a moment to say goodbye.
They handed her to me, and they said she's being adopted next week. They had her wrapped in a blanket. She was sound asleep. So I got to say goodbye to her.
But Dave could never forget that little girl, and he spent the next 58 years trying to track her down. In December of 2013, he decided to make one final attempt to find her.
I got contacted by Mr. Hickman wanting to know if I could figure out how to find the girl that he had found in the woods.
In less than 2 weeks, retired Sheriff John Cady called back with news.
He said, Dave, write down this name and this phone number. Mary Ellen Suey and her phone number. I said, okay, John. I said, who's that? That's your little girl.
I call him my hero here on earth because if it hadn't been for Dave, I wouldn't be here right now.
Mary Ellen Suey was renamed by her adoptive parents, and despite a lifetime of happy memories, she always wanted to learn the identity of the teenage boy who saved her life. Then last December, her phone rang. It was Dave.
I said, my name's Dave Hickman, and then I lost it.
It was almost like I had known Dave for years.
Ever since that call, Mary Ellen has wanted to meet her hero in person. On Sunday, she finally did.
You've been waiting for this one 58 years, huh?
58 years, but worth the wait.
For a very special lady, saved by the hand of God, Mary Ellen Suey.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Well, it's kind of like Dave's my big brother. I didn't know I had.
I've seen that image of her laying in the weeds and me standing on top of the fence every day of my life. And I'll probably always see that. But at least now I know there's a happy ending.
Well, authorities never determined who dumped Mary Ellen alongside the road, but amazingly, she says she is not angry at her biological parents for abandoning her. She instead chooses to focus on the wonderful life she's been able to live because of Dave Hickman's actions on that day back in 1955.
He is
Incredible.
Yeah, bonded for
incredible.
life. And you see how it affected him all these years later. It's good they got to connect again.
And so lucky he found her on that day, just a little baby. Great story.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.